Welcome one more time to my monologue podcast. And today I'm doing part 5 on Ntsa Kenya. I'm doing part 5 of about Ntsa Kenya. Kenya, Africa, Kenya. So, today I want to speak specifically on emission. What is emission and why we do emission? I want to speak on why Kenya is copying to do emission. Why Ntsa is copying to do emission in Kenya. I have always said in my past videos that before anything, you introduce anything in Africa, Kenya, especially Kenya, there are certain factors that must be taken into consideration. There are certain conditions that should be on place before you start to introduce or to enforce the law. Kenya government. Kenya belongs to me. It belongs to 53 millions of humans in Kenya. It belongs to us. So the Kenya government, sometimes you think we are so ignorant. We are not. Most of Kenyans are intellectuals. Only that they are in the village. We live in the village. But most Kenyans are intellectuals. Let me submit to the government of Kenya. We know what's going on in the world, even though we live down here in the village. So, okay, let me not waste the time on that. Let me speak about emission. Kenya, do you know why developed countries, they do emission on their vehicles? And the one thing you have to bear in mind is they manufacture their own cars. Those developed countries like European countries, UK, Japan, name them, all those cars. They manufacture their own cars. And bearing in mind that the government of those countries, they know a car is an essential commodity that every citizen is supposed to own in that particular country. If it's Japan, they know 80% of people buy new cars. 80% of citizens of those countries like Japan, European countries, USA, they manufacture their own cars. And before they give a license to any manufacturer, there are certain things that they should comply with when manufacturing those cars. Of which Kenya, you don't manufacture any fucking car. I'm sorry to use that kind of profane language. It hurts. When I hear about the emission in Kenya, it hurts. It hurts my mind and my emotions. So forgive me. My fellow Kenyans, just bear with me and listen just to me. Most Kenyans, 95% of Kenyans, they drive pieces of junk. Me included. All CEOs in Kenya included. They drive pieces of junk. Doctors, members of parliament, MCAs, women reps, who else? those people who have money, those people who can steal money and have the money, guess what? They drive pieces of junks, used cars from Japan or from any European country. Those are pieces of junks. Because most of them, they are more than 4 years old. And in fact, as a matter of fact, let me submit to the Kenyan government. There is no car. There is no car in Kenya that is supposed to pass any fucking emission. You know why? They are old. They are 4 years old. I'm telling you the truth. There is no car in Kenyan soil is supposed to pass emission. Because these are pieces of junks from Japan and from European countries. Okay? Already, the engines, they are multifunctioning. Believe me. Engines of the cars that have been imported to Kenya. And here you hear, oh my God, a government official saying, those with less than 4 years from time of manufacturer, don't bring them for emission. Come on. Those are pieces of junks. Those are old cars. They are used cars. You don't manufacture cars in Kenya. We don't, right? We don't manufacture cars in Kenya. And I want to submit to you. Or let me tell you this secret. Developed countries, before they give a license to any manufacturer, there are certain rules they have to comply with. So that because they know every citizen in that country should own a car, or is supposed to, or he could be owning a car. So there is what is called environmental compliance. Environmental compliance, a manufacturer is told you must have this component in that car. And they check. That is why in those developed countries, almost every year, whenever they release a new car to the market, they give it some time. And most of the cars, like Toyota, Nissan, Subaru, and many other types of car, every year in those countries you will hear them, they recall. They do what we call recall. Do you have recalls in Kenya, in this country? You don't manufacture those cars. And guess what? If there is any dealership in Kenya, like Toyota, okay, they will never tell you that this car has been recalled. Because they know their pieces of junk are many in Kenya. Okay? So, those developed countries, they have rules, they have laws in place to comply with the environment. The amount of carbon monoxide that can be released to the environment. And guess what? It's a new car. And those new cars, every year, should go for emission. Or every 2 years. I'm sorry. 2 years. Those cars. However, your car is new. 0 mileage. You bought a car with 0 miles. Okay? After 2 years, you take it for emission. In Kenya, in this country, Kenya, they consider a 4-year-old car is a new car. And they want that car to comply with to have environmental compliance on emission. What the hell are you thinking? Kenya, please. There are certain things that should be in place. For example, if we manufacture our own car, okay, we will invite experts to come to Kenya and tell us what we can put in those cars so that they can be able to comply with the environment, to have environmental compliance. Now, a Kenyan government, a Kenyan official, he thinks a 4-year-old car is a new car, is exempted from emission. Those are pieces of junks. Okay, this is my point. There is no new car in Kenya that can pass emission. I'm telling you the truth. All these pieces of junks that we drive on the road, including mine, this is a piece of junk. This one of mine is included. It's a piece of junk. Ask yourself, Mr. Official, Mr. Kendowa. Someone imports a car from Japan with 120 miles, and that car is 2 years old. Okay? Do you want to tell me that's a new car? That car has 120 miles. That's a piece of junk. Especially, more especially, the automatic cars. Wakenya, Kenyans, let me submit this to you. All automatic cars, which is over 120 miles, that is a piece of junk. Don't even buy it. Don't. I'm telling you the truth. I know you are looking at me like he's talking shit. But I'm talking through experience. I know what it is to drive a car. If you want to buy a fair car, maybe 20,000 miles or 30,000, which of course Kenyans, we cannot afford. Why we cannot afford? Because our economy, we haven't reached there. Not every Kenyan can buy a car 2 million or 2.5 million or 3 million. So that is why we import pieces of junks from Japan and from Europe, which already accrued or accumulated 120 miles. In Kenya, we call it a new car. That's not a new car. In the sense, that's not a new car. So when you are telling me that a new car, I mean, these cars can pass emission in Kenya, hell no. No. They don't pass. It's just a means, the Kenya government, to make money. How about that? Kenya government, NTSA, Mr. Kendiwa. Mr. Kendiwa, if somebody knows him, tell him to watch my video, please. There is no new car in Kenya. 95.5% of all Kenyan cars in these roads of Kenya, okay, they are pieces of junks. They are not supposed to pass emission. Even if mine passed. When I see a car that has passed emission, I just laugh. I say the Kenyans, they don't know what they are doing. Kenya government doesn't know. Are they really serious with emission? With all these pieces of junks in Kenya? 4 years old, 3 years old, 2 years old. Those are old cars. And then you bring that law from developed country, you introduce in Kenya. Kenya, wait until you manufacture your own fucking new cars. That is when we will be able to comply with the emission, with the rules of emission. But any piece of junk from a European country, from Japan, those are pieces of junks. Okay? Those are pieces of junks we are driving here in Kenya. Okay. For example, my car is a 2011 manufacturer, year of manufacturer. But you know what? It was assembled in Kenya. Assembled here. I bought it with 0 mileage. So you can imagine this car that I'm seated in, 2011, it has 45,000 miles. 2011, it has 45,000 miles in this car. 2011. And someone imports a car with 120 miles, 1 year old. That's a piece of junk, my friend. Kenya government, let me submit it to you that any car, used car from Japan, when I look on the mileage, I'm able to interpret whether that car can pass emission or not. So the Kenya government, you are just making this Ntsa to make money. To make money for the government. And you have to use a different way, a different route to make money from our cars. We can give that money. But emission, no car is supposed to pass emission in Kenya. Yes, you heard me right. Because we all drive pieces of junks. Okay? This car has been used in Japan maximally. When you see a car being imported from Japan, released into the market of Kenya, that car has been properly used. Another thing, Mr. Ntsa in Kenya. Okay? I keep on insisting there are certain conditions that should be in place before we reinforce the law. There are certain conditions that should be in place, the government should comply with before they start enforcing the law. For example, we don't have shoulder pullover on the highways of Kenya. That is why we have many accidents. So, Kendo Nation, when you were saying you are looking to have 0 accidents in Kenya, hell no. It will never. That's a dream. In Kenya, we have a little road going this way and the other one coming this way. And you are telling me we're going to have 0 accident in Kenya? Which Kenya? With those kind of roads? Even there is no shoulder. There is no shoulder where someone can pull over. In case of anything. There is no shoulder. In fact, even motorbikes. Me, when I drive on the highway in Kenya, I know there are many motorbikes which are using the same road. There is nowhere I can overtake a car. So I'm very careful. Because there is no shoulder, even that motorbike can pull too. There is no shoulder service road. In those developed countries, when you hear them emphasizing or reinforcing the law, it is because that condition has been met. The government has constructed that shoulder road on the side. Okay? So every citizen is supposed to comply with the law when it's being reinforced. Kenya, you are reinforcing the law from the air. Kenya government, Ntsa, reinforcing the law, okay, from the air. Look, why I say you are enforcing the law from the air. You are telling me when I bring my car, it has to pass inspection. There is a way you can detect that the suspension of the car is not working well. Okay? That's what you say. One thing you are forgetting. All the shoulders are full of potholes. Even Kenyan roads, even where I'm driving my car, is full of potholes. How do you expect that car to pass inspection on suspension? The police officers, they pull people to the ditches. Police officers in Kenyan road, we don't have shoulder. We don't have a service road on the shoulder that I can pull over my car smoothly. I see a hand of a police officer, And then I pull my car. Okay? That's the kind of noise it makes. Because there's no shoulder. So, fucking government, how can you reinforce the law, honestly? Before you do certain conditions, you make sure that certain conditions are in place. Come on now. The government of Kenya. Why don't you, whoever is in charge of Ntsa, why don't you use common sense? Why don't you even use common sense about the citations? You slam a citation to a Kenyan, 10,000. Come on. What are you thinking? In this economy of this country. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be citations. But citations should go hand in hand with where the economy of that country is. In America, a police officer will never slam to you $100 citation that you are slamming to Kenyans here. And the economy of America can allow, someone is able to pay that $100. But it is $45. If a police officer wants to give you a 10,000, like Kenya, in America, if a police officer is likely to give you $100 citation, actually that's gross. He may not even hand the citation to you. He will arrest you. When you see a police officer on the road is giving you $200 citation, okay? He may not even give you that. You are eligible to be arrested. He will arrest you. He will have your car towed and you go to jail, to go to court. So Kenya police, 10,000, let me round it up, is $100. And then to you people, it's very easy to give somebody 5,000, 10,000 citation fine. And most of you police officers, you are driving pieces of junks too. In fact, you are the people who drive completely junks. I have seen you. The kind of cars you parked on the side of the road, they are pieces of junks. They are not supposed even to pass emission. Okay? Their suspensions are all of them out of order. You will see a police car on the Kenyan road, you look at it, it's a piece of junk. And you wonder how it passed emission. How it passed inspection. It has to be both sides, right? The government to comply with the law, and the Kenyan citizen also to comply with the law, right? Kenya government, are you practical, Mr. National Kendowa? You are the one in charge. Because you came on television, Citizen TV, I'm still responding to you. Let me submit to Kenya government. There is no car on Kenyan road that is supposed to pass any fucking emission. They are all pieces of junks. And all 4 years old cars that you have exempted from inspection, come on, use common sense. Those are pieces of junks. But because you want to make money, okay, that's why you are doing what you are doing. It's not practical. Kenya government, you have Kenyans who are intellectuals, who have traveled in the world. Some of you government officials, you travel. You say, I have traveled all over the world and I'm looking Kenya to have zero accident. With these narrow roads, one coming and the other one going. Let me submit to Kenya government. All highways in those developed countries and other countries, okay? All highways are one way. It could be 2 lanes going the same direction. No oncoming cars. No oncoming traffic. That is the only way how we're going to have zero accidents in Kenyan rough Kenyan roads full of potholes. I'm not dreaming that Kenya will have anytime soon, unless we get smart people in the government, educated. They are educated and they are willing even to apply what they learned in school. Then we will have zero accident. So I heard you saying, Japan, actually, they have zero accidents. Yes, they have zero accidents. You know why? All highways, 4 lanes going one way. One way. No oncoming. The oncoming cars, they have 2 ways, but those are called back roads. Back roads. Those are the only roads which they have 1 lane coming and another lane going. And the speed limit is about 45, 30, 50. Okay, or 20. Because they are back roads. So you call a highway from Nairobi to Kisumu is a highway. Come on, man. Come on, Kenya government. Huh? 2 lanes. A lane, a small lane, no shoulder even. And another lane coming up from Kisumu to Nairobi. And from Nairobi to Kisumu. And then you expect zero accident? Are you dreaming? Are you practical? Kenya government. We need people really who can put their education on practice. I will still come back again with another episode. For now, that is all. Kenya people, my people of Kenya, please listen to this enlightenment. And you can comment it. You can comment down whether it makes sense or not. Thank you.